for Friday, the 10th of July 2020. Or if you're a Patreon, you'll be hearing this possibly on the 9th. It goes out on the 9th. And to let you know, as Patreons, the video of this podcast, including the last podcast, that'll be going up because I've just gotten my hand around to editing it. The one with Martin Beans, that'll be going up as well, purely exclusive to the Patreons. So that's what you get. My thanks, obviously. There's my thanks to the Patreons because you're beautiful, beautiful people. Have I the red? No, I have the wrong headphones in. 1 second. Oh, Lord, this is so professional right now. I could hit stop and all the rest, and I could not record this. But you know what? That's what makes it real life, guys. That's what makes it real life. What is the fucking crack? Thank you very much to everybody who's purchased merchandise. Yeah, fair play to you. I think the last one I saw, I don't know, the stuff gone out, and I don't know where it's gone. People are staying anonymous. Yeah, fair enough. If you don't want to send, it's kind of ironic that you want to wear the gear with the podcast stuff on it, but you don't want mentioning on the podcast, which is absolutely fair enough. I know Shane bought a hoodie there with a, bare knuckle comedy. There was another one that I had before. Well, it wasn't a podcast, but just another thing that I had before. So much love. Thank you very much to everybody. The merch shop is there for you. It's on T Republic, so it's Buckshot Podcast. I'll put the link down the show notes anyway. And thank you very much to everybody who's been sharing the sideshow, Buckshot Sideshow. It's the new game show. You're kind of listening to this going, what in the Christ? It's a new streaming game show that we're doing. But we're going to, we attempted it the other night and to do the setup because I was recording it all through Gordon Rochford, all his gear, it's basically NASA. And we got it all set up, dialed in and I've a good old laptop, but it just ain't strong enough to send it back out live. Because what you're doing is you've got me and 4 other lads and you're putting up videos and stuff like that, and it's all got to be, listen, I'm not even going to fucking attempt to tell you what this shit required, right? But apparently between compression and all the rest, you need a proper PC. So that's where we're going next, lads. The Patreon money, that's where we're going next. We're building a fucking PC. So we worked out the components and everything that we're going to need. I say we worked out. I stood there as Gordo pointed it out on his computer what is needed. So we got to get up. We're gonna go strong enough. I have few bits and pieces that'll work on with it, but we're gonna need about €1,000, and I want to do it now. Look, I'm gonna fucking obviously help it along, but I really like the idea of purely the Patreons building this. You know what I mean? Because you're the fucking lifeblood of the show. You're putting tea in the mugs. Look at tea in the mugs. If you're watching on the old, so yeah, if you want. This will be going out about 2 hours later on. So if you hear this immediately and you want to watch the video of it, oh Christ. Oh Jesus, to getting a phone call. Call you back. There we go. That did away with that one. How professional is that? Middle of my podcast. I should have silenced the phone really, shouldn't I? So yeah, if you want to hit stop and watch the video of it, feel free to. Because we did it over Zoom, so it was grand. Sideshow kind of shit the bed the other night when I was going out live. It just started getting all jittery and stuff, so we cut it or whatever. So we're just going to pre-record it, just record it and put it out, which I kind of like because then I can make it exclusive to the Patreons. You know, I can put it out first to the Patreons. I will put it out to the masses, but the Patreons get to see it first. You know what I mean? Because it is a nice production. It's a nice production. It's a right bit of crack, and like the comedians I'm using, are all of headliner, full on, full metal jacket, trigger pullers. Like, you know, they're not humming and hawing. They're not, they don't get a bit quiet. They're all talking over each other. It's great. Give it a look. Go over to the YouTube page, Tom O'Mahony Comedy, the YouTube page, and have a look at the sideshow. It's a good hour of a good bit of crack. And there's no holds barred. We don't hold off on anything. Like we have not tailored ourselves because it's purely, again, the lads are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. There's no money changing hands. There's nobody producing it. We're really with Bar Gordo's obviously has steered the ship technically, but realistically, it's not like fucking any channel has come behind it with any which way, so we're not curtailed in any way. I choose all the content, so as filthy as it gets, I'm to blame. And probably Steve Cummins. And probably Mickey Bartlett. Steve, or Jerry and Jim tend to be a bit cleaner. Emma was good crack. She was clean. But I reckon we get her back on in a week or two's time. I reckon there's a darkness in Emma to come out. So that's the sideshow. Give it a look. I think there's 4 episodes up already. So if you haven't given it a look, go look for Buckshot Sideshow. It's a bit of old crack. People, and we're all trying to outdo each other as well. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting in the middle kind of trying to stop the lads from talking too fucking much. That's the big thing, because you're trying to actually get an hour show out and make it somewhat, it's not rambling off into the fucking wilderness. That's the toughest part of it. But with the lads, it's just trying to keep them all on the straight and narrow, but it's fucking brilliant. Oh, and to let you know, I know I've been fucking late with this podcast, and that's the reason why. Between the sideshow, trying to fucking learn the techie side of stuff, and as well as that, trying to resurrect my career by, you know, talking with venues, meeting with venues to see, can we fucking do something? Can we do something to get this fucking thing back on the road? When I see these fucking barn dances and fucking, they have no problem with fucking music now. So anybody who's listened to this podcast on the regular knows my fury when it came to the rug being pulled from under me when it was a comedy gig. But yeah, we'll see, can we get it back on the fucking road? Much love to everybody who got in contact. Fucking load of new listeners in the last couple of weeks. So people were just going, fucking found this. This is great. And very excited to come see stand-up, which is ironic. This is great. New people who've never been to stand-up. We'll get it back on the fucking road. We'll get it back on the road. But yeah, tonight we are recording another Hard Enough podcast, which will be out next Monday, which is like, what, the fucking 14th? But it'll go out this evening, as you'll hear it, Friday, possibly Saturday morning. It'll go out to the Patreons, as will the video go out to the Patreons as well. So that's the reason for joining Patreon. 1, you're contributing to the show, but 2, you get all the extra footage. There you are. You get stuff early. So, you know, sometimes it suits people because they're working, or they're fucking sanding the floor, or they're fucking cutting the heads off chickens. Whatever you're doing, getting it early sometimes fucking suits people. And you get to watch the video as well if you just want to get another, you know, medium into your stuff. Right, I'm not going to hang around for much longer because this has turned into a ramble pod, and I have a ramble pod fucking in me. Although I may completely spill it all tonight with fucking Owen. That sounds disgusting, doesn't it? But I have a guest. Next episode is 150 fucking Buckshot episodes, people. 150 from them that have been there since the beginning. If you haven't, go back. If you're going, what's this? Because you're new to it, go back, have a look. There's all sorts in there. There's everybody from Eddie O'Sullivan, Samantha Mumba, PJ Gallagher, McSavage. There's a lot of fucking good people in there. There's sporty ones in there as well. There's, the Mary Wallopers one. That's the one that's getting a lot of traction. A lot of people like that one. That was 2 or maybe 3 podcasts ago, and the lads sang songs and everything on it. The video is up too. I released the video because so many people were messaging about it. And you don't want to force everybody's hand to you must become a patron to see, you know. I appreciate anybody who helps out, but it's nice to be nice. Have a look at that one. Have a listen to that one. That's a fucking great episode. So there's a ton of them there. So we'll have that one out on time, and I will have a ramble pod as well for you. So I think that's everything really. If you're new, just follow it on social. You know what I mean? Either Buckshot Podcast or follow me, Tom O'Mahony Comedy. You'll find it. Anybody watching the video, I'm getting really distracted because, I'd love to turn the webcam around, but it won't see. It's like 200 meters away. There's a stag attacking a bunch of sheep. What a world we live in. Huh? This is fucking amazing. They're out there letting all these sheep into this field, and all these sheep are just running around like dumb assholes. And this stag just came out of these forest bushes and just basically ran him off like he was some sort of Protestant landlord, and all the Catholic fucking sheep were like, sorry, get off my land, you bloody sheep. And they're like, sorry. So there's like 200 sheep all just pigging it off. Anyway, that makes for a great fucking podcast listening, which is what most people do with this. So hit subscribe if it's your first time listening. Sure, look it. Or follow it on whatever usual platforms. I turn up a couple of times a week in your ear holes or eye faces or whatever you want to call it. Eye faces? Face eyes. I've lost the fucking run of myself. I'm starving hungry. That's what it is. And I think we'll do Mexican tonight. That's the fucking reason. And yeah, social platforms. Give it a rate and review. That's the juicy thing to do. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, I love the reviews. The reviews are great because they're just, people are taking their time and having a bit of fucking crack with it. And like that, it's all good stuff. Give it the 5 stars. Don't mind anything less than that. It will benefit nobody to get anything less than that. give it the 5 stars and leave us a lovely little review. And feel free to give me an old screen grab or just send me a message of where you're listening. I love that shit. It makes it relevant. Makes it less weird and I'm just a man talking, looking at sheep being attacked by a giant Protestant stag. Anyway, moving on to today's guest. Today's guest is a great friend of mine. This is the second time back around. He's 110% positive. Of positivity. I just mean in positive. Fucking hell. We got pretty drunk during this one. I've had a few drinks during other ones, but we got really, really drunk. There's a lot of shit talk through this. It went on forever. And we had some I don't know whose battery or whatever, unless Zoom just went, you fucking go to bed, you cunts. Basically. Because we got to about an hour and a half mark in. And, it's just as well because we were getting really drunk. We were just enjoying each other's company. You know what I mean? This is 2 blokes sitting in a pub. I mean, we were a little drunk at the beginning. And then we got quite drunk towards the end. But it shut off at a certain point. But we followed up the following day. And we had a sober conversation. This is literally as close as you can get. Even nowadays. This is as close as you can get to 2 lads. I'd had little drinky poos beforehand. Damo had a lot of drinky poos beforehand. He's on really strong stuff. I'm on fairly strong stuff. And there's a ridiculous amount of shit talk in this one. You will learn nothing from this. You will learn fuck all from this. Your intelligence, like your IQ is not going up from this, but it's a good old chuckle because it's 2 lads. I love hanging out with Damo. He's a brilliant comic. He's a fucking animal on a lineup. And he's 100% fucking happy all the time. Because he's just like, fucking yeah, we're getting paid to tell jokes. He's never like, fucking shit. Never. He is quintessentially the fucking best crack you'll meet on a gig. And a savage comedian. If you have never seen Damo Clark, you're doing yourself an injustice. He's doing live gigs now. He's doing garden gigs. So those we'll get on board some which way with that. I'm going to jump on a few of them for him. Himself and Danny O'Brien have this thing called garden gigs. Go check it out. It's basically exactly as it sounds, but they do them to companies as well where they're, socially distancing and all the rest of it. So without further ado, listen to 2 mid-30-year-olds get drunk in the dark, talk over Zoom and have the crack with my friend Damo Clark. Oh, fucking this feels good. Cheers.
I'm glad we're not on a Friday, like a Friday thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, fucking me dog. The dog just ran past the window. Fucking, she can work it out herself.
Is she alright? Does she need to...
Nah, she'll be alright.
Is it pissing down?
No, it's not.
Cool.
It's gorgeous out. No, it's fine. It's fine. She'll fucking work it out. It's just... We're covered in... We've just got tons of fucking rabbits and pheasants out here, so it drives her fucking berserk.
Where is this?
So just beside Bray. It's just country enough, but yet I'm 20 minutes from, the city centre. So,
yeah.
Like, this is me.
That's what everyone wants, really. I want some space. That's city like that. People want to be in the
That's
look at that.
That's my view. Like, you can't see me apple trees and stuff like that. So we've spuds and everything growing, man. It's fucking...
What?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
And how's the little...
Sure, he's growing like a fucking weed, man. He's 10 months old, and I think he got, height-wise, Natash's brother's genes, because they're all about your height. And then blocky-wise, he got my genes, because he's a fucking tank. He's
just a big bastard.
He's just a big bastard. He keeps on, and he has, I'm guessing, my stupid genes when it comes to no fear of pain or just stupidity. He fucking smashes everything. And nothing, he'd be gentle with the odd thing, but more often than not, he just fucking, we'll fucking have some. Now, maybe it's a baby thing. I don't know, because I don't know anything about babies.
I think it is. I mean, I'm finding this out after, but you can tell a kid 10 times, if they're under a table. They go, you have to back out and duck your head when you come out under it. You can tell them that. But unless I can do this because I got a phone. Unless they're under a table and go like that, and go, bang, and they'll be like, ah! You'll never forget that. you have to get hurt so you know how to not get hurt. And they're pretty resilient. Like the beatings, he has lots of marks from just like little bumps. That'd be like, man, I'd be crying more than that if I got that hit. If I hit my head that hard, you know. I always thought they were weak, but they're pretty. Because like teething, you know how they're going through all the teething, mate. Like we know how much a toothache is, and their teeth are coming through. They handle it like troopers. I mean, they're crying and they're like this, they're biting, but we've had that as adults, and that's excruciating, man.
And for the first time, I mean, it's not like, because we already have a bunch of teeth, and if you have like a wisdom tooth or you have a fucking toothache, it's like, well, you know, I have teeth. But the thing about what I noticed with him, what I was thinking about was like, this is brand new. This is like straight out of the fucking shop, like straight, like brand new gums, and then these spiky fucking, you know, things want to go. I want to cut through your gum, please. You know, for the first time.
Like I think like that. It's bone. It's the only place where bone is through to the outside, and it's fine.
Yeah,
you know, like there's no other place where our bones are supposed to be visible, and they just spear through.
I wish we had horns. You made me think. I wish we had horns now.
That'd be cool. Because there's too many. I know they're all there for a reason, but there's way too many nerves in our mouth for what we need. You know, like we want to taste everything, but why do we need to feel like all that sensitive? Like if a tooth ache, why is it so painful? They reckon there's nerves there, like reflexology. The feet is connected to all bits. They reckon that the teeth is all connected to other parts. You know,
Damo, so like I think you may have said the most inspiring, insightful thing in 149 episodes. You've absolutely dumbfounded me. Why the fuck is there any feeling at all in our gums? Like
it should be just taste.
Just the tongue. Taste. Just the tongue for tastiness.
The tongue, and then chomp down on you, because we're supposed to just be eating. Like that's why our hands are like that, so we can grab food. That's why we see colour, so we can know what food. You know, it's all about eating. It's all about getting food and eating it, so we can crap it out and find more food. You know, and we're just built to eat and procreate, aren't we? Like when you just look at the human body, male, female, everybody, it's just meant to. I need to find something to eat it, mate, maybe, and then, you know, eat more and maybe build something. Like that's from just if people just. So why do we need feeling in this shit?
But this is the thing. Need it. Did you ever listen to the Irish History podcast with Finn Dwyer?
That was the cat just smashing a glass.
And you know what? At some point I was going to ask about pets, and your eyes told. I could have told it was a cat because your eyes just went. And you didn't say it, but you went
mobile telephone. So let's go see the Damian. Don't forget what you were going to say there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
What's your break?
What have you done, Elvis? Look at that. He's not even. He's just like looking at it, going, "Yeah, do whatever." No, it's not. It wasn't a breakage. It's one of these kid cup. Look at this. Look at this filth. Look at this.
Oh man.
He's got water. He's got his own. Look, I'll prove it. He's got his water. He just ate, right? And he's just like, yeah, I want more water. Just smashing cups around. Good Lord. I mean, my place has always been a mess. Cassandra and me were pretty mental drinkers before Max came along. And now the place is a state. But we can blame it on him, you know. We don't have to think we're terrible humans. We're like, yeah, he's a toddler. He's going to wreck everything. And then we've got a cat, and he wrecks everything. So you can't have nice things, can you?
No, and that's exactly it. I was only looking around. I was only looking around today, going, oh, well, we just because the handful of nice things we had, we actually it was an amazing decleansing in the last house we were in. We put them all on a truck and put them to auction, and we got about €4 after taxes. And we basically put our life. But you know what it was? At the end of it, we were like, yeah, fuck it. But I mean, had you gone to the effort of selling it, advertising it, you know, fucking shipping it out to people, you probably would have made more money. Yeah, you totally would have made more money. But it was more like, get this shit out. And now we're at a
time,
stage.
Isn't it?
Like I bought
time.
I bought this chair I'm sitting on, and there's a replica chair right there, and there's a sofa over there. We bought them for 50 quid off a young couple that were moving into a new house. And it's like, yeah, Fionn, the kid, he could set fire to it with a fag, if whatever he may do, because he doesn't. Nothing surprises me at the moment. If I arrived in and he was just sparking up, I go, I don't know where you got those, but fucking fair play. It doesn't make a difference. Man. We have nothing. Doesn't make it a lot. The only good shit is his shit right now.
Oh yeah, the newest stuff in the house are his clothes, and like today he's wearing his first. He had he's doing a little summer camp. It's a camp. They say camp, but he's not anywhere. He just goes. It's like Montessori during the summer, and that just went back this week. So we had a little party today, and he wore like a white t-shirt with yellow sleeves. So guess what color it is now? Brown and black.
But you know what? That's what boys are supposed to be doing. Like,
yeah, it's like, yeah. And you know, Sandra was like, "That's his new top." You're like, "What's he? Do you think? Like, what do you think was gonna happen, man?"
He's a boy, and he's Damo. He's Damo Clark's boy.
Put it on to get photos straight away, and then that's what you want. New clothes for a kid. He's not gonna care. They don't care. Ever given a kid clothes for a present? Most of the time, they don't want that. Who wants it? No. They don't want new clothes, man, unless they ask for a certain kind of clothing. Something cool, something fun. They're like, what do you give me a t-shirt for? You can't read. You can't read the cool caption. I'm Dada's little dude or whatever. They're not reading it.
I know. For my first, because he's only 10 months, for our first Father's Day. I don't know how this came about, but tomorrow morning is my morning. You know, it's like Mum gets to sleep in or whatever, and he loves Notorious B.I.G.'s "Juicy." Now I've since found the radio version. It's probably not best for him to have the original version just yet. There's Elvis the cat.
Because Elvis has popped in. He doesn't care. He just jumped up on me now. I own you now.
Yeah. But I, for Father's Day last week, she got a t-shirt from me that's in the style of Biggie Smalls, and she got like, you know, the italics, and mine was Biggie and his was Smalls, and it was. I saw that.
Yeah, that was great, man.
But do you think for a second he gave a shit what t-shirt he was in? He was like, "Where's me porridge and where's me banana?"
Yeah, I want my porridge. I want my porridge. I want banana.
Today, any of the audio listeners who haven't looked in on the video, go look at the video, because Elvis is now part of he's part of the podcast.
It's cat chat. Meow 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 meow. Disgrace. Meow 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 meow. Can you bloody believe it? Meow. Funny how my cat voice sounds like Dame Edna Everidge. Oh man, but yeah, I got a t-shirt, a little AC/DC one that says, "For those about to walk, I salute you." And it's a great shirt, but he won't get the irony until it. Yeah, it's got this AC/DC symbol. For those about to walk, I salute you. Brilliant.
That's amazing.
But yeah, that's just for us, isn't it?
What are you drinking?
It's for us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, Elvis and his knocking over of cups interrupted. We're talking about nerves and that, and you said you read something.
What's there? Oh yeah, about so Finn Dwyer it's brilliant. The Irish History podcast, way more educational than in fact my podcast. Think about the polar opposite. This is just two silly fucking grown ass men.
You're dumber.
Yeah.
Information will get a brain listening to this.
Much like our comedy demo. Nobody will learn anything. They'll have a good time, but they'll learn nothing. Yeah. The Irish History podcast. Finn Dwyer was talking about how only like maybe 500 years ago, or maybe 1,000 years ago, we'll say, we still look the same, more or less. But everybody was walking around crippled in tooth pain because, well, listen to this. This is just the fucking cruelest thing ever. They had discovered bread, right, and how to go about making bread with a fucking 2 stone wheels. You rub it together, you get the flour out. But because they were stone wheels, bits of stone used to fucking go. So by like 22, your teeth were worn down to fucking nubs. And all the nerves were exposed from eating bread because the bread was full of stones. And people were just walking around, and people wonder why. They were like, why were the Irish so fucking... This is the thing he never jumped to, but then he's not a comedian, but he never jumped to the point where there was non-stop, like, fractions between every single fucking parish, and then every single... Like, there was, at one stage, Damo, there was like 40 fucking kingdoms in Ireland because everybody was just going, I'm going to kill everybody around me, and you're coming with me. And I think it's down to the bread and tooth pain.
Oh, absolutely. Anyone with a toothache. And that's the other thing. That's how much we love bread as human beings. Like, if something can knock your teeth out with one slice, which probably wasn't even invented then, one bite of a loaf or one, and we're still like, still great though with that butter, Oh, yeah. Give me more of that bread.
Yeah, like, I'm carbo loading. I need to get this fucking. I got a war tomorrow with next door's parish. I got a carbo load.
Got to be really angry. Yeah, you need lots of carbs. But do you think the saying "better than sliced bread" before sliced bread was better than bread without rocks in it? It was and then that was the saying before that one.
And somebody went, whoa! You know these swords we've been using all this time?
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. What if I did this?
Yeah. Because I'm guessing the toaster was invented after the slices. So they must have just been slicing it to see if there's any rocks in it.
Can you imagine a toaster that would fit a full loaf of bread in? And they're going, there's something not... This should be tasty.
Just one big chunk. But what would suck? We go in white and it comes up still white. Clunk it in again, still white. Clunk it in again, comes up black. Every time. Because there's no gradient of how bread is cooked. It's not like light to, charcoal. It's just like white. It's like burn. I'm watching it. We don't even have a toaster. I'm watching it in the grill. I need toast every day. We should get a toaster, shouldn't we? We're looking at it.
We have
after
no luck.
Lockdown. Oh, yeah.
We have no luck with toasters. Every toaster we've had, I don't know, do we over toast? I don't know. Is shit meant to break? I watched Antiques Roadshow. Have you ever watched? Yeah, of course you've watched Antiques Roadshow. You're a comedian. For Christ's sake, you've watched.
Yeah.
But this woman showed up with like 7 of these toasters from like the 50s. And back in the 50s and 60s, shit in the kitchen was actually like an ornament as well. It wasn't just functional. They went, well, we better make it pretty. It was like they got this most stylish campus people to design, and they had toasters with like engravings on them that flipped it over and flipped it back to you again. It was fucking stunning. But at no point did I look at it and go, we should have that, because we have fucked up every toast. I don't know what we're doing. They break inside 3 months.
Yeah, there's something that you have to have a really durable toaster, and toasters. There's so many different breads now, so many, and they're all different sizes.
Number one bread. You're an Australian. You take your bread seriously. Number one bread style.
Oh, I don't know. I'm starting because I'm getting older. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to push you on. I'll box you into a corner here, paint you into a corner because you're a painter decorator by trade. It's a full Irish. What's your go-to bread?
Yeah, it's full Irish. Yeah, sort of with the full Irish, you probably have to go white toast, wouldn't you? Classic old, like the shape of this screen, just white bread. But then if there's soda bread, then I'll have that. There usually is, actually.
How do you feel about
Cambridge?
How do you feel about? The McCambridges, yeah.
I'm liking a McCambridge, man. Loads of butter. It's almost like cake, but still still bready and savoury enough to be.
How do you feel about sourdough? Because sourdough, people are going crazy.
It's great. I mean, I got to be honest. Like, I know bread, but if I was tasting, what's this one? I'd get white and brown, I reckon. After that, like that's got more seeds in it than the other one. That's got rocks. I don't actually. I know soda bread's like good, better for you, and I do enjoy it, but I don't know. I don't know if I can taste the difference, especially because I'm always hungover and I'm eating it. And I don't know what it is, but the hardest decision of my life is always what am I trying to order when I'm hungover, not for brunch or for lunch. You can't make decisions when you're hungover. You're just going, could you just bring me something that, look at this. You know what fixes this. Just get that.
Yeah. It's like we go into a cafe or a restaurant hoping our mother is behind the counter.
Yeah, and be like, help me. And then what's your bread preference?
Of late, I found this thing in Aldi, and it's a malted sourdough. I don't know what a malted sourdough is, but I know it goes with sausages and beans really fucking well.
Oh, malted, that sounds very good.
It just does. There's almost like you're eating white bread, but at the same time it's almost like you're taking white bread that has taken anabolic steroids. It's illegal, but at the same time it's really fucking good at what it's doing. You know that kind of way?
Yeah, it knows what it's doing and it's doing it. That's great. Is it called Sklickets bread or something?
No, it's an Irish company making it, because I think Aldi have pulled their socks up. They've realised, and people in Ireland don't like schnitzy, schnitzy. They started to find small companies who'll go, hey, we'll buy your bread for next to nothing. Is that okay? And they go, okay. But getting into it, I mean, fuck, I cannot wait to hang out with you in real life, just properly.
Been too long. It was probably the last time was probably the one in the Bachelor Inn.
I was going to ask you, when was it? Was it Bachelor? Yeah. That was. It
was this year still, wasn't it? It's hard to think. It was definitely 2020, so it wasn't soon after, because those lads, the Dante's Comedy Club, they just got that up and running, and then boom, so many businesses and things that we know are just getting on a roll. 2019, just starting things up, in 2020, and boosh, and that everyone is like, well, now what? It's mad, eh?
Yeah.
Like when people ask, oh, what are you in? Sometimes you don't say comedian straight. I never say comedian anyway.
What's your answer?
I'm in live events.
Oh, I say entertainment. Yes.
Yeah, or entertainment. I say I'm in live entertainment. So, that's at least a year between like us now and something. Yeah. Thank goodness I'm a lazy bastard. So
I've moved on to this one. So what is it? Whiplash? Is that the name of your one?
Yeah, Whiplash, man. We did a gig in the brewery, me and Danny O'Brien today, and they were like brilliant. So they just gave me. This isn't me plugging it. They didn't pay me to do this or whatever. Just I got the beers today, and this was the top one on this can. I watched it.
That's super cool.
It was my hand cold. As soon as they put in these tubes into cans when I didn't know any of this, or maybe I did, but I forgot. But they put in these, and it puts in carbon dioxide, so that the oxygen goes out. So then when they put in the liquid, they just pushes all the air out, and then they just put the cap on, bam, and then I got that straight away. It's bloody lovely. This one's a Bow Machine. It's 6.2.
You're a man after my own heart. Go fucking hard or go home. This watery old piss at 4.1 and 4.2. You're like, man, I gotta get drunk, and I gotta get drunk now.
What are you driving home? Come on, mate.
I'm on Brown Bear. Have a shot.
I love that.
The one. You know the one.
Yeah.
7.2. Thank you.
Yeah. I love a long neck. I love the big brown bottles, man. In Australia, that was the thing. It was either little cans or a big brown bottle of bleach. I love it, man. Everything was just growing up. Everything was just beer. Like I didn't know about any spirits for years, man. It was just beer, and then I moved to Melbourne from Perth, and then and worked in a bar. I was I had a couple of little jobs, dishwashing. You know, well, you wouldn't tell people that you'd say ceramic technician engineer. You know, we're still doing that. By saying we're in entertainment and live events, we stand on a joke and make fart noises and talk about food to strangers. And do you remember what was your drink when you were like a teen? Your the first spirit and mixer that you would have.
Oh, I remember. I can always remember there was Blue Wicked came out just when I was starting to drink. And, sorry, I beg your pardon. British companies had started introducing like Alco Pops and these things that resembled Bacardi Breezers. I think Bacardi Breezer were the only ones that kind of made it out of the forest because the rest were all...
Yeah, that was the first sort of mixy ones that we got as well.
But the rest, there was loads. There was fucking loads of them these British companies were making, and they had ridiculous names like fucking Happy Jack's fucking party time sauce. And you're going, well, this tastes like... And it tasted like sweets. You know what I mean? You're going, this clearly... Even as a 15-year-old, I'm going, I'm pretty sure this shouldn't be... You're aiming this at children, clearly.
Yeah, there's no way they're aiming that at a 45-year-old parent.
Unless you're still living the dream. I think I want you to jump on in a couple of weeks. I don't know if you've seen my game show. Have you seen the game show I'm doing?
No, not yet. I haven't watched much of anything.
Yeah, people are trying to avoid online. It's this game. Oh, it is actually turned out really badass. Gordo Rochford, you know Gordo from those conspiracy guys. Man, he's been schooling the fuck out of me on how to run these fucking program systems of how you bring up text in the middle of things, play videos, and move around guys and stuff. So far, the last couple of weeks, it's been Nicky Bartlett's been in and out, Emma Doran's been in and out, and Steve Cummins, Jim Elliott, all those usual lounge guys, basically. McBride, fucking Gordo himself. And basically, it's like 3 or 4 rounds of just me as, you know, the fucking centre bloke shooting these fucking... I put the thing together, and it's like voiceover clips, and it's dicking about, but it is a game show. And off the back of it already, I've got offered 2 kind of fucking Zoom gig / fucking things, you know, but it's just proof if you're putting the fucking work in, man, the pudding will come out the other end. It fucking will.
Yeah.
There's only going to be a few of us left. I'm telling you now, there's only going to be a few of us left. I think this will burn out the dead wood.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how I even just recently have heard some just little sayings that like make me go, yeah, man, get bitter or get better. Yeah. That sums up a lot of what's just like people's mentality of any, like any career, any job. People either make an excuse of why they're not doing anything or getting anything, or the hard thing is going, I'm not good enough, I have to get better.
Yeah.
And if you can keep saying that and then keep working on it and keep getting better, then you will. And then you can't get bitter at anyone because you're like, I'm happy that I'm progressing. It's like a golf game or something. I don't play golf, but you know what I mean? Everyone's just your own. You have to just beat your own last score or your own last thing.
Let's cut back in because that's some delicious fucking stuff we're talking about where we're not talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
So gigs wise, fucking the last time obviously we were saying we were gigging at the Dante's Comedy Club. That was a good old night, and it was one of the only night. It is the only night I've ever been on with you, and there was another fucking Aussie on the fucking lineup. Some chap.
Yeah, he's got some great gags, man. Great, like especially when there's only been me as the Aussie in Ireland on the comedy circuit, and I haven't been killing anyone that's entering or anything. I was just no one. There hasn't been any others.
Yes, you have.
There's another one.
Fucking have.
I have, yeah. They're under the floorboards. They're right there. Shut up. And now Tarek were like, yeah, because there's Danny Dowling, and he's like New Zealand, so there's just like me and him. It's like, oh, sweet. And then now Tarek's in, and he's got some great gags, and he managed to go, why didn't I think of that? Really good, really sharp stuff. Excuse me.
He's a bit greener than you, though, isn't he? Like he can, like, he knows what Sydney still smells like. You know what I mean? You're a long time gone out of there.
I think he moved. Yeah, I think he moved here last year. Like, he'd been back and forth for a bit. Everyone's back and forth from Ireland, aren't they? They like go in, get their head met, like just like a few nights out. They're like, I need to sober up for a bit, and then they go away and they go, I want more. You know, like Bart Simpson and that cupcake connected to the electrode. Out, out.
Did you dip in and out? Because I know you followed Sandra home. That was technically this.
We met in 2001 in Melbourne, and then I was over in 2002. She came back, and then I stayed for about 3 months. That's when I met the first round of like gang. That's when Des Bishop didn't have work experience then or whatever. So that was just a great thing to just witness, was when, because before social media really, 2002, and then when Des, between like one episode of that work experience went out. This is when people watched TV, when it was TV. One episode, the one in Waterford in Abracadabra. And and that Friday, I think it was Friday, or that weekend, whenever the first, because it wasn't 7 nights a week then, the queue was down the road, down to like the record, like down past Cornucopia, all that, down the road. So they had to do a show upstairs and in the bar downstairs, like flip it. A 126-minute episode or whatever it is. And it was such a great show. And it was like a documentary, but it was funny. And it was Des and a comedian. And then just like from then on, they had to add, from that first episode, then it went to 7 nights a week. Because I already had the improv, I already had the Comedy Cellar on a Wednesday. And I had like, I think just Friday and Saturday or something like that. And then after that one episode, then it went, boom, Friday, Saturday. Now we do every Friday, every Saturday, and then soon after that it was the Sunday, and then the 2 nights.
Because I'd forgotten about that. My first
episode, and then the series, like, bang, it was so good. I've never seen anything like, just like a club explode so much just from a great TV show. Because usually when you watch a great TV show, there's no way you can really go and see the star of the show do what they do. They're just actors or something. So that was really, and before Des exploded, then I was just Googling around. So Google was still there. And I emailed him going, oh yeah, I do comedy. Believe me, I go, I've been doing comedy for a bit.
I should Yahoo that guy.
And I went, yeah. And I went, I was just looking for a spot. And he goes, funnily enough, I'm not there, but I need to host that night. So the first gig I ever did in Ireland, I was hosting the Intern in 2002. And that went well because it's the Intern. It's lovely. And then, so from then on, like, I didn't have to really do any open spots because I'd already hosted the Inter. And then I did, the next few nights, I did spots and other stuff. And then the Halfpenny, and there wasn't like that many clubs there. And then I was in the circuit, and I was like, mate, this fucking place is the best. My mistake I made, though, was when I went to the bar and went, oh, Guinness, thanks. And then they went, $3.50 or whatever it was then. And I went, oh, no, I was on stage there. What an idiot. And they were like, yeah, that was, $3.50, thanks. Because in Australia, even if you go on stage for 2 minutes and you suck, they just throw beer at you. Like, that's why I got into it. That's what attracts you. But then again, if they did that in Ireland, the queue wouldn't be for the bar. It'd be for the stage. Everyone would get up there.
Yeah.
And get and that's when I realised this is how much drink is. And I went to mass, with Sandy, new family. Like, everything was like, this is how much they drink it. This is how much they drink it. This is how much like, everything was, they don't see it as a drink thing. So there was that, because why would they give free drink? It's worth too much. It's worth more than $3.50. Don't you understand? And then I went to, and in the reading of the communion, you get the body of Christ, the Bible, right? Which, people, this is the Bible. It's like the body of Christ. It's all about the Last Supper and the body of Christ, isn't it? And the blood of Christ, right? They give you the body, the wafer. Like, somehow Jesus just tastes stale and round now.
Delicious stuff.
But no, delicious Jesus. But where's the blood? I was waiting for the blood. I was like, where's the wine? Can you imagine? But like, there's no, they can't give away wine in church because it's worth too much. Everyone will be lining up, going, give me more of the bleeding blood of Christ. You know, I need some more blood of Christ. I'm feeling sinful. Give me that. And then getting could I have the body of Christ with a bit of lamb with garlic?
You are never. We've been repressed for too long. You fucking Australians are too free. This is the thing that makes us so jealous. Albeit, you were all sent over there. You know, not all of you, but a lot of you. I mean, chances are, with your name Clark, you were sent over there a butt-ass naked fucking criminal, fucking, you know, for stealing a loaf of fucking stony bread somewhere.
Yeah, with no teeth.
With no teeth. And he ran buck wild, started his own farm, had a good old time, and they were free people. But in Ireland, for so long, you were just told no. Do you know, like we were talking about our kids? Fucking no. You can't fucking have that. And then as soon, like 1920, 1921 rolls around, and it's like, fucking go on. So we're not even 100 years, Damo, into being let rip. So you got to.
That's true.
Now, when we do hit the 100-year mark, I think we're going to have to curtail ourselves a little bit, because then we're big boys.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of happening now. I mean, we've lived without pubs now for 3 months, and that's the first time that's probably ever happened. Even during British rule, I'm guessing, and I've been to the museums and I've read up on the. They weren't called, you know, there was people distilling whiskey like secretly, you know, all this shit. Like there was all these places, Irish people going and drinking secretly and doing everything under the radar, the British and all that. And that's what makes you who you are, and amazing people. And like it's always, nothing can stop the crack. Nothing can stop the crack, man. And then now it's just been no pubs. So people have made bars in their own houses. People have been making their own drinks. People are brewing in their bathtub. And now bars are slowly getting open. It's like, is it safe? Is it worth it? Is there anyone else going to be in there? Of course it's worth it. So, you know, we all go in.
Yeah.
But also people have been buying more, you know, coffee and stuff, you know. Cafes are getting bigger. Do
you think we're going to turn into Europeans, proper Europeans, where they go, you know,
a little bit,
and they have a couple of Swifties, couple of fucking, I'll have a glass of beer. Can you imagine asking for a fucking glass of, I shudder at the fucking thought. Could I get a glass of beer there? Just a glass. I don't want a pint full of it, because, you know, I don't want to fill up before I head home. Yeah. A glass of beer. I don't know. Well, genetics say it won't work.
Just holding a Guinness like that seems wrong. But I've done it. Don't shoot me, but I have done it. I was driving. It was a long time ago.
While driving, you had... Yeah. Oh, I'm not a complete knickers. I was driving.
If you got pulled over by the guards and they saw you had a glass, they'd let you on. They'd be like, they know that you weren't drinking if you had a glass of Guinness.
I'm not taking a piss, lads. Like, come on.
They were like, get out of here. They'd breathalyze you if you were drinking water. But if you had a glass, they'd go, go away. Get out of that. Go way out of that. Fuck off. Go home and drink.
Just stop being such a pussy. Go home and drink.
But I tell you, I had to, when I asked for that glass of Guinness, and that by itself, so they knew it was for me, I had to immediately go, glass of Guinness, I'm driving.
Now, Damo, you've moved on to 8% Apocalypse Dreams, and that's a 500ml can.
Yeah, man.
I fucking love that. What's the name of the company again? Just so we know what brewery was it?
Whiplash. There's a brewery in Ballyfermot. Ballyfermot. And this is cool connection story. My missus' his first cousin Alex is the one of the master brewers that set it up.
No.
I've known Alex since 2002, I guess. I met her family when I came over. soundbar said he used to work in Guinness, and so we used to go to Guinness Storehouse all the time. Like, so why wouldn't you? Because we got free in, and then the Guinness at the in the bar at the top is free. The Guinness up there is free because, well, Americans will sip it and then leave, and then you drink theirs. But so we'd just go there and just like drink free, lovely Guinness, and he could draw shit in the top of it and all that. And then me and him, he would brew his own beer at home, and he's always brewing. But then do beer festivals in his backyard. In Selbridge in Kildare. So everyone would do home brews, and then he'd get these 3 like the tasters from Guinness, and like they'd do other breweries around and taste everyone's home brew and give it points and marks and all that.
That's incredible.
So me and him, we made a stout. We brewed a stout for the contest, and we didn't win, but it was delicious. It was like, I want a stout, I don't want it strong, I want around 7 or 8%. And he's like, all right, can be done. And we put oats in it, we put caramel in it. It's great brewing beer. You just make whatever you want. No wonder everyone loves. Like, I mean, people might like making craft beer more than people like drinking, but you can make like whatever you want. It's like, what kind of beer do you want? And now we're seeing like all this influx of, some might have a bit of passion fruit. You go, that sounds a bit weird. And you taste it, you go, that's lovely, actually. You just like, now you don't taste the beer and like, it's not just I like it or don't like it. You go, I drink this on a sunny day, or I drink this in the winter, or you just have a different beer for a different. That's a Tuesday lager. You have a different.
I have an idea. Has there ever been a fucking comics beer, like a comedian's beer? You could do the artwork. We call it. I know the name. We call it.
Laughs.
No. It's already a comedian's beer. We'll let that be known, right? I'm from Tipperary, which is known as the Premier. You're from Australia. Premier Oz.
Premier Oz.
If there can't be a better commercial. It's a real commercial sounding name, actually. Premier Oz. Yeah. And then we tell the story at the back, like all good fucking beer crowds do. Like there's a novel on the back of your can. There's a soliloquy on the back of my bottle. We tell the story, man.
Like, those cool, like, novelty mugs when you drink it. There's, like, a mad picture of a mouth or something.
And who better to draw it than... We don't even have to hire a fucking design team. We've got a comic genius.
I'll do the bloody artwork. We'll brew it up. It's great. Me and my dad used to brew beer in the shed. Is that the most Aussie thing I've ever said? Maybe. But
I was trying to think. Other than me and my kangaroo used to... no, there's actually nothing else. There's nothing else. you just wrote through the book. Went Mick Dundee, Feed Income, Colin Minag, Chopper Reid. No, there's actually nothing else in there that can be said that's more Australian than what you just fucking said.
Yeah. That'd be great, man. We should do that.
Maybe Dave.
Getting some kits and moving around, and that'd be class.
Because I have a sweet little spot out here in the country. We can hook it up out here, and you can be. Because of course you were a painter decorator in another life. I have a funny feeling you've got a tasty touch when it comes to like mixology.
Yeah, man, I'm all over it. There's like I look at from all the years of doing the painting, decorating, you can be like, oh yeah, that's Saharan sand, and this is like, and this is that's Essex armpit.
What I have
all these mad.
What I have noticed is the shelf behind you is perfectly pointed. There isn't a speck of fucking paint on that. Your average DIYer will just slabber away with a Sunday morning fucking attitude and just fucking bash it on and just go, oh, do you know what? If this shuts her up, I'll fucking paint it. That is fucking 90 degree by 90 degree by 90 degree pointing. I can't see a speck of paint on that shelf.
Yeah, because I'm a good Oh, well, it's not, the painting isn't about the painting, as you know, it's about what doesn't get paint on it.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. As
you
a
remove
person,
everything.
a person that used to be employed to go into people's houses to create snag lists. And I knew some guys left, like some builders left things like a screw unscrewed in a fucking socket. So they would go, we'll leave a few traps for the old snagger to come in here and go, well, there's a screw left out of that. And that would shut him off if he had 15 points. But the painting and plastering were the major thing. You know yourself, you'd run your hand over and go, well, that's utter dog shit. But the painting, if it wasn't fucking, that was the last, like, they closed the door, turned the key, the last blokes in there were the fucking painters. And if they didn't leave it crisp as a fucking brand new fucking €5 note, you could see it straight away. Most people couldn't tell if there was block work bad. They couldn't tell if the windows were bad. They couldn't. Now, because I'm such a fucking psychopath, I could tell all were bad if they were bad, or the plaster. But anybody out there, as an old guy that used to bring the best phrases. He was a digger driver. He used to have this one phrase. Well, no, he had about 50 phrases, but this one particular phrase. Tommy, you could fucking see it out your ear. And I went, see it out your ear. And he had to explain that one to me. In other words, if you had no eyes, even your fucking ears could see how bad that shit was.
Yeah.
But everywhere you've walked around the fucking house so far, and I'm being a nosy bastard. I'm going, fuck, his points are on. Fucking, he was fucking impressing Sandra with this joint. Every bit of fucking squaring off and pointing into fucking joints. You've painted the place immaculate, Damo.
Oh, thanks, man. It's I'm slow, but I'm good. I'm not that quick because I daydream, but I'll it might be, I don't know, not OCD, but I won't leave a thing unless it's like, you do that, do that. But my first painter boss was 4 years. I had him, and friend of the family, Deirdre Harmsen, Dutch family. So Dick Harmsen, champion. One day, 4 years in, I go, oh man, I find it really easy when you're cutting in. Look ahead of the brush, and it'll just go to where your eyes are looking. And he just looks back and goes, exactly. Now you know. I was like, why didn't you tell me? It's like a real Mr. Miyagi moment.
Cue to the audio listeners. That's a point to go and watch the fucking video, because Damo just was the most dramatic person ever just then.
Oh, man. Now you know. You could have told me that 4 years ago. It might have been better. But I guess it's something you just have to learn after
I love that
period of time.
No,
man.
No.
But yeah.
Did he vanish into a cloud of smoke immediately after that?
Yeah. It's like and then it was like, you have passed. Like his old computer game. Then he's like, you have become a painter. Man, that was my Karate Kid moment, and I wasn't beating up any Russian kid or whatever.
You're what? Like I said, we got to gig together, whatever. And I don't know if I got to say it properly, but do you know when you're on a lineup and you just go, oh fucking yeah? Do you know, like, as I know you're the exact same as me, is that you love a high tempo lineup. And people don't think about it. Comedians don't say it. I don't know why they don't say it, but it's almost like, because I've grown up around jockeys all my life, where I grew up, and they love a high tempo race, even if there's a fair old chance they're going to lose. They love rapid jockeys around them, and I'm the exact same way when it comes to comedians. Like, talking with a chap only today, he was asking about comedians, and he says, what way? How? I want the fucking cream of the crop around me. Because it lifts everybody's game. Do you know, especially if they want for you, but not even, because you know their style anyway. Even if they're going on after you, it doesn't make a fucking difference. And you are one. I'm not going to put a number on it, but you're one of the few comedians that I get if I see him on a lineup with Damo Clark, I'm like, giddy up. Giddy up.
Cheers. We know you're gonna have a good time, but you're right. If there's loads of acts that just visually just love all of it, you know, then the whole audience can just be lifted up completely. Like, it's cool. I mean, yeah, it's all about that's a good thing about Dublin when the scene was going. It's so small that what I loved about it, and you know, gig in other places, you gig in London, everyone just goes psh, like cockroaches after the gig goes home. They just Here in Dublin, everyone's just like, if people are going home, they don't have to go home that far usually, so they're just around. You just meet whatever gig was happening. You just meet them around. It's great, man. I love that.
Was that tough pre-COVID, Ben? I'm guessing, obviously post-COVID. Was that tough tipping off? Because you gig in the UK a lot. You'd be almost considered a UK comedian as well, even though you're obviously Irish-based.
A lot of them still live there. I still have my UK number. Like, I still have like, it's like I'm undercover for the RA or something. I've got two phones, UK and my Irish number. So I still have it. Because why do clubs and bookers need to know where you live exactly? That's what I was thinking. But turns out they know now, and they still book me. So thank God for that.
Which is hilarious. I've been 10 years doing comedy, and maybe 8 of those in Dublin, and still to this day I get the odd booker going, "Thanks very much for coming up." I'm going, what? For the last 8 years I've been up. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm still up. I'm up now. I'm still up.
One of the best videos because you have loads of stuff online, but one of the best videos you put up, it was in Wexford. I don't know, was it last year or the year before? But am I right or wrong? Were you still kind of anesthetized? Do you remember that one?
I think I was still on drugs. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, they gave me drugs, but I don't know what they were.
Can you give context to the listeners, because they're going, did Damo go to drug den?
Yeah, man. I got an operation done that I didn't need to get done. I mean, visually maybe, but it wasn't life or death. My hair. I was losing my hair, like a lot of us are. So I had my island.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I got that. So
have you got the island patch like me as well? The penalty spot.
Yeah. I mean, I can lean forward, but I've just got Elvis now. Trying to give me some hair. So there's my island. That was there already. And this hair here is from. This is great for all the people that can't see anything. But like, I've got that mad patch of island that men love, the unicorn spike on their forehead. I
see it going that way for me.
Yeah. And you don't have a comb over. You got a comb back. That's what I'm going to try and get. And I had one, and then I shaved it all during lockdown. I was like, I'm just going to grow it back again, just be like a mental.
Did it take?
So this is my mullet, because the hair here that they put on the top of my head is like they pulled out one by one from the back of my head.
Was it sore as fuck?
Not really. I mean, because they're drugged when they do it. I mean,
no, you're drugged, not the fucking doctor.
Down here. So, I mean, it's pretty good. Like, you can't see. I mean, it's all my hair because it's from the back. But if anyone wants to do it, I'd say do it. I mean, I wear a hat all the time anyway, so I thought, got nothing to lose. And my mate did it, and as he told me the price, I got a call, and I went, sorry, I'll just take this to know who it is. And it was an offer for a corporate for that exact amount of money. And I went, well, that's a sign. So I got it. So I just went and did it. I called the place that he got it at, and they go, yeah, well, we usually have a 3-month, you go in, you see them, they talk about it, they measure it out and all that. But he goes, oh, we had a dropout for a Wednesday. Do you want to do it? I was like, yeah, right. And that was that. So I got money out of credit union because I wasn't paid from the corporate. I haven't even done it yet. and then before I know it, next week I'm getting like 3,000 hairs pulled out of the back of my head and then jammed to the front. So there was 6,000 movements between like the back and then 6,000 holes in my head, 3,000 in the back, and then jammed in 3,000 in the top in a day. This dude was great.
Does it look at the back of your head? Does the back of your head look any way thin?
That's what I thought, but I think it's the same. We have so much hair coming out the back of our head. I think it's fine. It's still as thick as it ever felt, because I guess the back of your head, you just have so much hair. I don't know why. God just wanted everyone to have ponytails, I think.
my sister...
But I just thought...
My two sisters are, they're kind of doctors of heads and shit. They're just... And my brother, they're smart people. I'm the fucking idiot that ended up,
Yeah, I can tell, like, doctors of heads or some shit, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
What even is that? I'm a doctor of heads.
My sister is, even though like it's like, well, it's brains and stuff, but she has kind of argued the point that, and she hasn't set about, because obviously there isn't the funding to do it, but she has argued the point that the lifting of hair isn't fucking needed. The reintegration of testosterone to those cells, apparently, where we're losing hair, it'll fucking sprout hair. And I said it, I was like, hey, what? But ladies don't have, what? She goes, no, they do, Tom. Listen, I'm drumming it down to you because you're a bit of a fucking idiot. And she said that way nicer than that. But basically what she was saying is, in a couple of years, I'm telling you here and now, they're not going to be pulling hair from nobody's fucking head. They're going to be slipping in. They're going to be grafting cells, because all the testosterone is in the sides of our heads, our fucking, our headband. It's in the side of our head.
It's all there.
But yours, do you know who you look like right now? You look like, because you have, the beard is after getting thicker, you look like Cowboy Cerrone.
Who's that?
He's a UFC fighter.
Oh, of course.
I swear to God, he's really tough. But when you said, that's me mullet, I left my missus cut my hair, right? Check this out.
Oh, yes. Brilliant. That's great, man.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, and I love how it's still blonde.
Yeah.
Bleached blonde mullet. Really highlight the highlights. Oh, that's great.
I did the hair went blonde for a TV thing I did. Fucking must be 8 months ago. But for some reason, I guess the summer fucking tied in with the situation. The blonde and the grey have gone together.
It looks great, man.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous, Damo.
How's this for a gig? So I did the operation thing, and I was like, brilliant. And then Colin McGlinchey picked me up, and then the two of us drove to Wexford, and then we did the gig, and then I just ranted about the operation. I just had a bandage around it with blood all over it, and I was like showing him and I was talking about it.
Is it YouTube or Facebook? Because I need people to see this video. Like, it's fucking mental. You don't look like a man who's corpus mentis, shall we say?
Yeah, it's like I told Carl Spain, I was like, I've spent a few thousand just to get your hairstyle. But I'm happy with it, man, because I would have had, so I've got this little guy would have been there, but then this little bit of fluff, I mainly did it because I wear my hat all the time anyways, but like when me and my missus, go for dinner or something and my hair's in bits, I want to be, when we're old and we're going out to dinner, I'd like just a bit of silver hair or something there, I just love that. Yeah. I think being bald is so final. I think that's why blokes have a hard time with it. It's just final. You can't do anything with it. I mean, not that this is any better. It's just like fluff that you picked up off you stuck it on. But I think the reason we even have a problem with baldness is because like you can't just go, oh, I might have this kind of haircut. Oh no, I can't.
Ah, that's a valid point. I never thought about it that way. Is that why do we care?
Most blokes wouldn't mind shaving their head at least once and having a look. I mean, some blokes go, I want that. I mean, The Rock, Vin Diesel, all these dudes you look at and you're going, I don't want you to have hair. You look amazing. Why would you?
Yes, but they're supplementing through HGH and fucking steroids.
And then, well, if you're pale and white, you just look ill. You just look sick. I already look gaunt at the best of times, and we're always tired. So I've already got purple there, head shaved, and long skinny neck with veins. You just need hair just to cover up all the. No one wants to see white pastiness.
But at least your beard is so flock. Like to describe it as wallpaper style, it is fucking flock. It looks like a man of the West. Like, have you seen my mustache?
Yeah,
it's still half. It went, well, the rest of us are going to stay youthful, and while we're down here, Petty, we're going to go white. I don't know why half my mustache just decided to go fucking Snow White, but
suits you, man. I like it. It's you're still young and cool there, and then distinguished. So, like, depending on what you're saying, you can, like, if it's wise, you can stroke the silver bit, and if it's just silly, you can just do that, you know. So everyone, because that's the thing, like, going grey is not a problem because you can dye it, you can do anything, and silver is cool. I like it. I always like Steve Martin. I always like Santa Claus. You know, I'm not a problem. I think I've got one grey hair in the beard for every day in lockdown. They're in there. I mean, I don't know how HD my thing is. Not that I was stressed of lockdown. It's just that's the. It's just day by day, you know. Just getting.
You've been passing lockdown brilliantly. Like, even early doors, it was like Damo was on this. He knew it was going to be fucking.
That's cool.
You know, there was a tower crane. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, man. The crane's still out there. I ask you questions. So I learned during lockdown that cranes, like, they leave them in neutral. I didn't know this, right?
Yeah, you have to. They'll break their gears otherwise.
Right, yeah, I didn't know this. So I was always wondering, because I'd see it at night. There'd be I can see in, like, there's no one in the little cockpit. Would you call it a cockpit?
Yeah.
No one in there. I come out early in the morning, and there's still no one in there, and it's moved. I'm like, who the hell is going up in the night, moving it and coming back down, right? That was ridiculous. And then a crane driver messaged me online and said, when I said this in one of my daily videos, and said, yeah, man, it's in neutral, you idiot, the wind. And I was like, oh, so that's why they're all pointing the same direction a lot of the time. You know, I thought, that's a great foreman going, you're not clocking off unless you're east by northeast.
What if you got like a Muslim fucking foreman who went, you're not clocking off until, you know, Mecca. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
That's a great idea. Pointed at Mecca. So I made a sheet that cut out with where if I hold it up, it was in line with the buildings, like out of the Goonies, I guess. And then a circle, like, and then wherever the crane was pointing, so it was like a wind dial that would point to the answer.
What was your datum? What was your every day you went out? What was your datum point? Was it like the corner of your own building, or?
Yeah, so the corners of my building where I look up, and then where I stood and how I held it. So I had to stand in the same place. But then again, if I brought it closer, so I had to be fully arm's length out. This is all me, by the way, doing, like, in my own.
I believe Scott used the exact same topography technique to map Antarctica.
I'm sure he did. What else do you have? But what I found out is it got quite samey after all. Like, and the wind is usually either one way or the other way, like, and maybe the other way around. Because then I started predicting what it was going to say, and a lot of it was yes or no. I'd ask a question, yes or no, and then there were serious questions at the start. I don't know if you saw it. The first ones were like, "Am I going to be able to live on comedy after COVID?" Like, probably questions that I will need to know, and they'd be like, "Yeah," and like, "Yeah," like,
yeah.
Yes. So it was like, "Yeah." And then a couple of times it was like right around, like, no. And I'm like, oh, hello. And it's still up there, man. They're still building. I love it. It's a new building for LinkedIn because they're building like shitloads of buildings. But who's going into LinkedIn? Who's working in a building? They're all saying work from home. And when they find out everyone can just work from home for most of it, they're going to, why would you have a massive building that's costing you zillions in rent when everyone can just do exactly the same, come in for a meeting every now and then? In person if they want. It's mad, eh?
Free
They're
up
still
the
building shit.
free up the M50. I'm telling you, it's the way forward. A year ago, I talked with a mate of mine. He lives in Denmark, and he couldn't believe. He's from up the road here, and he couldn't believe. He goes, "Why in the fuck is everybody going to work?" I went, "Because it's called work." He goes, "Nah. This place is such a tiny fucking little island. The internet is fucking savage for about 2 million. For about 2 million. Granted, you still need your blokes to turn up and bust blocks and fucking paint walls. But it's just your average fucking typey. Leave them the fuck at home. Your average person will get 100 megabytes, if not more, or a little less. It'll work fine. Why the fuck?
And if you have the similar goals and targets and stuff, you can meet them. There's less time commuting, obviously, so that's better for the environment. That's like more time at home with your family. There's a lot of pluses.
And that was the Danish way.
Work better in work, obviously, but really, if it takes an hour out of your day, half an hour,
that was the Danish ways. What he was saying was, fuck that. The way the Danes work, and because he went over there with an Irish mentality, fucking work. And he was running teams on this thing, and he had this foreman mentality. You must be in, you must be working. And then within a month, he realized, oh, these people don't care about work. Yes, they'll do it, but they don't give a fuck. Because what matters is family first, maybe community next, friends after that. Then maybe third, fourth down the line is going to be actually the people you work for. And it killed him. It was like the Irish person in him was like, but you must work for the master. And then he realized after about 6 months, oh, this is actually way fucking better. So like in Denmark, if your kid has a fucking soccer match, there's no even asking for time off. It's like, kids got a soccer match. Good luck. And there's no going, whoa, where are you off to? None of that shit. It's not even challengeable. It's look, best of luck to his team. That's what it is. And it killed him for the first 2 years. But after a while he went, it's a fucking amazing way to live. And they meet all their fucking requirements. They work a 4-day week, man. Damo, they work a 4-day week.
Brilliant. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
If that.
That's
great. Everyone can be a good parent. You can balance it. A lot of the time I think, and when I worked in offices, for example, but if you clock in.
Damo Clark has not worked in an office. No way.
Yeah. Totally.
Doing what? What could you do in an office?
I worked in the Melbourne Stock Exchange building. Sealing envelopes and doing mail outs and
okay.
Office jobs. And in the first week, they caught me asleep under the desk, and I got a warning. I was like under the desk, my feet were sticking out because I was still gigging at night, But it was cool. You go in there, all the big red digital letters are flying around. Everyone's like all in suits going, sell. And I was dressed like this, just walking around in me runners, just going, what's up, So they either thought I was a bum or owned the company. It's funny.
Is he Mark Zuckerberg or is he just homeless?
Is he just like, why is he sleeping on the desk stealing our sandwiches? I was like, man, come on. You don't need those sandwiches. You're rich. I saw the arrows going up. You're fine. The arrows. It's all about the arrows. That's all anyone wants in business. Arrows up. I get business. You want this. You want that. You want to steep up and you want to get out. Yeah.
Guys, how are we not more successful listening to you? Guys.
You know what we're talking.
When shit goes that way, it's good.
Yeah.
That way? Nah.
Down is bad. You want up. If it starts going down, get out.
So
unless you're in the long
tell me
range.
this: when are you coming out to the ranch here for barbecue?
Soon. I
Yeah,
guess because lockdown's up, so we
yeah.
can start pissing around.
I,
And then
I,
Max comes around. Does what's your youngin's name?
Fionn,
That's right. Yeah, Fionn. Little
you're
Ed
gonna
goes up
you're gonna love. What age is Max?
3.
I love the way you said that, like you're like a Dubliner. You're 3. You know that
3.
went against everything in your education. Everything in your education says 3.
3, but not 3.
3.
It is easier. Like tree. I was like, why don't you say the THs? But I get it. It's just really efficient. 3. That's a lot of effort. 3.
Like
so
quick.
Quick.
Like we were talking about off air, the boyos that I've been chatting with, they don't fucking mess around with any of those THs. It's just straight to 3.
Mrs. Tilt paste. Yeah, toot your paste. You don't get with paste. Ages. Tilt paste. Tilt paste.
You go ahead and toot your paste, love.
Let's brush your teeth. Let's get on the brushing the teeth train. Toot, toot, paste.
I think you've just invented a new kid. That has to go in a comic. One of
Like
your
the
strips.
Fairy.
Toot, toot. That has to go in one of your comics.
Toot, toot.
You will see a comic book strip of the Toot Fairy, where it'd be something going, driving a train with wings. He'll just be a big
like yours. With some glitter and wings. I was joking about that the other day. I was thinking about having a shower, and then I thought, 2 meters.
I'm not going to let that in because that's too good of a joke. That'll be a burnt joke. I'm not letting that in. That's a good joke. That's a great joke.
Like, whose smell is that good?
Yeah.
The smell 2 meters, you know.
Man, you say 2 meters, but oh my Jesus. I was down the old shop this evening.
Let me guess. Bumper to bumper?
Oh, yeah, it's bumper to bumper. But regardless, it made no odds. Like, they had the clicker at the door and all the rest of it, but there was this guy. He wasn't right in the fucking head or something, but.
Who? The mouth? The clicker?
No, the guy. This guy was just. Do you know when you walk through somebody's fumes of humanity? You walk through it, you're like, what? It's like.
Yeah.
You know those sci-fi movies when somebody has just been there? You're like, I just felt their presence. It went right through me. This guy's fucking stench went right fucking through me. You're like, fuck, dude. I know they had the hosepipe ban like 2 weeks ago. We all know with a couple of days. As Irish people, we know that's bullshit after 2 days. It's like 2 days are in. We're like, we're back on track. It's okay. Not for this dude. He had not washed. Oh, Jesus. He was humming. He was fucking humming. Back in the day when they used to, a great fucking thing. Do you know what? You know when they used to do fox hunting? Like the horses would ride out after foxes. And they'd have the hounds with them. Well, they don't do that anymore. And what they do is they use the scent of a fox. And they put it on the back of a fucking quad or an ATV. And they drive it for on a sack.
They're a driving fox around, pretending they're a fox, going, I'm a fox.
That's exactly how I hoped you'd take it up. Because even though, for some reason,
the dog can be like, it's a fox.
That's just a fox that smells like petrol.
Yeah. It smells like is that diesel and rubber burning through soil? Is that like oil? Is that the Jinx Africa of the driver of a guy in a tank top?
I think,
no one's fooled.
And I've often thought about that because foxes are like foxhounds' noses are so good, and they use this big old fucking sack of fox. I'm guessing they fucking kill a fox. I'm guessing. And they let
They
it rot
probably-
for... Oh, they totally do. I'm just speculating, but I'm guessing they do.
Yeah.
But they drag this fox around the place. And just like you said, every so often I wonder, at some point the foxhounds must go, will we just keep going with this shit? Because I know that's a dead fox I'm smelling right now.
Yeah.
And I can smell, as you said, rubber, and I can smell petrol.
Yeah.
Guys,
I know it's dead. Should we tell them?
Guys, I don't want to shit on anybody's parade, but at the same time,
Yeah. It's dead. And you'll all be if you shut your traps.
So let's just keep running like we genuinely believe there's a fox out there. Okay, guys? Greg. Fine, Greg. Fine, Greg. If you want to fucking play it, yes, I know you're all about the authentics, but let's get fucking real, Greg. We got no other game. We got nothing else. We got nothing. Bar chasing foxes. So what's your backup plan, Greg? Are we going to move to the city and fucking, start a fucking barista company?
Fucking Greg. Fucking Greg. And all his antics.
How good would it be?
I'd love to have a friend. Remember when we were just out, just hanging around? I'd love to get like a friend. We probably all do actually. That just gets really angry about anything that you talk about. Doesn't matter what it is.
We can think of one. Damo, are you joking me? We're comedians. Are you telling me you can't? The two of us off air couldn't say one name or 10 names.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I suppose that's what we do. I guess. Someone's having a pumpkin scone or something. Someone just goes, "What is that? You have pumpkin scone? What even is a pumpkin scone? It's pumpkin, a pumpkin."
Have you any respect for yourself? For Christ's sake!
All that out of nowhere, really angry, and everyone's just like, "That's Greg,"
Because you're one of the few people. Anytime we're ever driving to a gig or something like that, and I'm driving. You're one of the few people who, like your average comedian, we won't be, 3.2 milliseconds down the road will I go, do you know who's a cunt?
Oh, yeah.
I can't actually think of anybody outside of you who doesn't go exactly that. Now, in fairness, you'll wait about 7K down the road because you're a gentleman.
Yeah, I'll wait. And my memory's terrible. Like, I think everyone's sound, but I think it's because I forget if anyone's ever nasty.
Yeah.
Because, I know people that have, been horrible to me and, ripped me off and, all that sort of stuff. Call you shit and not tell you anything and, but you don't,
You don't love that shit.
You just go, whatever, he's just a prick. What are we going to do about that?
Well, you see, you had the joyous background of being in the construction industry for a long time, where you learn not to log people being cunts. Because for anybody listening, most people, we'll say 51.5% of people in the construction industry. Yeah, everybody's a cunt. Everybody's a cunt.
All of them.
In fact,
118%.
But I joked about before, Damo, it is one of the most glorious industries to be in for tension relief. Relition is not a word, but I just invented it, and you went along with it. You didn't even look at me with any disgust. You didn't even look at me with any disgust. You just went, I
was like, that's brilliant. I'm using relation as my reason why I do comedy now. Why you do comedy? I'm like, I'll be like this. I'll be looking up in the corner, real serious and pensive, going, it's the relation. I love that one.
I'll never forget my wife, who's
it's the relation
who's a very smart woman, turned around one day and she talked about the different types of ice cream in the freezer. And I went, oh, okay, what's the discussion here? She went, well, what I'm saying, Tom, is the lack of sugar. While I love a low sugar, while I love a low sugar ice cream, she goes, the ice-occasion is not the same. I went, I'm no scientist, but I'm going to have to stop you there. I'm fairly sure ice-occasion is not a word. She goes, well, I'm sorry, Mary Curie, but you may fucking wrap it up and shove it straight up your hole. It's a fucking word for this conversation. And that's a she went Mary Curie, like the godmother of nuclear science. She went there to solve her fucking argument. And in that, I thought, case in point, actually, I don't have an argument. You went to... Who uses Mary Curie? Like...
What a She-Hulk or something like that.
But do you know what? Ladies be ladies.
Why not Gloria Estefan? Why not?
No, she went, in fairness to her, she went scientific. Now, I'm pretty sure...
Why not Amy Adams?
I'm pretty sure that Mary Curie had nothing to do with, the refrigerator. Actually, it was Mr. Birdseye. Mr. Birdseye. Not Captain Birdseye. And would you believe it? And here's a bit of trivia for you, Damo Clark. He owned the house that Downton Abbey was filmed in.
What?
Fish fingers, Damo. Fish fucking fingers.
Mr. Birdseye.
Yeah.
Back when
he made all that money. The question is, how do we make that kind of bounce? We're never going to make it, are we? A comedy. Not that kind of money.
No, not like that level of hilarity. All you need. Oh, cheers. What's that one now you're drinking?
Oh, I'm on the strong brown bear. It's like 8% or something.
Oh, same with this one. Probably. Yeah.
I am so enjoying getting toasted with you, by the way.
Yeah, same, man. It's brilliant. Should have done this ages ago. What flavour is that? What are you smoking there? What's that?
That is...
Boysenberry Fizz.
No, it is. It's Strawberry Sensation, apparently.
I know.
Apparently, it's a sensation.
A sensation.
I gave up the old fags about 5 years ago, right? And I went on to one of these things, an old vapey thing, and I was like, Jesus, because I smoked, because I was in construction. You were in indoor version construction, so cigarettes weren't so freely available. I was in outdoor construction, mostly fucking working with bricklayers and surveyors. So fags were like, they were almost, do you know what they were? They were verbal currency. You had a full pack in your pocket. He had a full pack in his pocket. And he'd go, fag. And you go, sound. And you'd have an old fag. And before you knew it, fag was gone. And then I'd go, fag. And we'd be still talking about what we're about to build and shit. Before you know it, like not 15 minutes would have passed and 3 fags would be gone. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm 3 fags in and it's fucking 7 a.m. Oh, Jesus Christ. And at no point had anybody ever stood me aside and went, maybe you shouldn't smoke so many fucking fags before like 10 a.m. By the time we got to 10 a.m, I'd have 10 fags gone. No problem. With these conversations I would have with people. Because I'd have to go around the site and I go, fucking, well, that wall is gammy. You know it's fucking gammy. Let's fucking straighten it up. How are we going to straighten it up? Pull out the last fucking 6. and we'll pull her around and we'll get it straight. Fag, yeah, fucking fag. Lovely job. On to the fucking next gig. And before you know it, you'd smoke fucking 14 a day. Then I moved to this fucking thing. Everything freed up. The old lungs fucking freed up.
Oh, with that you drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's non-stop.
A couple of years ago, I remember, do you remember Ronan? I don't know if to do comedy anymore. You know Ronan Grace? Remember Ronan? Big old tall, good looking fucker.
Yeah.
So we're over in Galway, right? And I had a whopper gig. I was headlining. It was one of the early days of me headlining over there, right? And I come out off stage. Now, fuck me, that was a ripper. And there he is. And this guy, he wasn't smoking this fag. He was fucking enjoying this fag, right? He's sucking out of this fucking thing. And I went, Jesus Christ, that looks delicious. Gives a whip of one of them. Give me a fag. And he went, you don't smoke anymore. I went, I'll fucking let you know when I smoke, princess. Give me a fag.
Yeah.
I took one pull, Damo. I went, oh, that is nothing like the crack I remembered. And I handed it back to him. So when I drink now, I have a couple of drags of the old puffy wuff, the old pipe. And almost nothing during the day. So we're whittling the cunt down.
Very good. Very good.
I'm jealous.
As long as you're not one of wake first thing in the morning, you get up and, those ones, the first thing they have to do is like have a smoke. Like that would be the worst. Because morning breath is already terrible. And then you're like, straight away, have some breakfast first, bit of muesli, maybe some mango. And then, but then I think
you're such an Antipodean to throw in mango. Like that's a normal. Yeah. How many times has that ever happened with your fucking Irish wife?
What, when I go, I want some mango, she's like, fuck up, shut up about the mangoes. I don't know what accent. Yeah, I'm bleeding sick of it. Fucking mangoes. Fuck off with your bleeding mangoes, right?
I have met Sandra. I have met Sandra. Sandra doesn't sound like that, by the way.
Yeah, I do more of like a Dame Edna Everidge type of voice.
You turn into
like
Dave McSavage's female characters for some reason. You're like,
yeah, like Life of Brian. He's not the Messiah. Very naughty boy.
He's not in here.
Yeah. The good thing I'm not female, because otherwise I'd be like this. Hello, why am I like a parrot? Cuckoo. Why is that's my lady voice I try and do. No.
You would make a terrible woman, Damo, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, horrible hairy thing.
It's a tough old station. Fucking switching codes like that. I laid a couple of episodes, I suppose, at this stage, at the rate we're going. They've been going a bit slower than I would have hoped, but Ali O'Rourke,
well,
I had her on the old podcast. That's a tough old station. Do you know when like, because people probably put the likes of you and me into the same old box. Yeah, we do like a good chick. Fucking, we like a good check shirt that has a fucking pop button fucking situation going on. Yeah. Case in point, Damo right now is wearing Garth Brooks' finest. With actual buttons, so you're normally a pop button man, or is that just for gigging?
Buttons for tonight, because we're on Zoom as well.
Pop buttons.
I don't want to zoom in buttons.
In a live performance area, Damo and myself like a pop button, because you never know what might happen to man.
You never know when you want to eat 15 pizzas.
tell me this. Tell me about the because you went to your site like everybody else is doing these online fucking gigs. No doubt you've done a bunch of them. Like, have you been getting slightly better?
Doing gigs outside?
No, I mean the Zoom, the online Zoom gigs, because I did a couple at the beginning and they were just atrocious. But I did the last couple I've done, they're all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a whole new medium. It's like, it doesn't matter if you've been doing comedy however many years. When you start doing Zoom gigs, you're starting again. Yeah. You might have the jokes and that, and you might have experience talking to people, but it's just completely different. Like anyone that can talk people that do conference calls would be better at doing comedy gigs on Zoom because they're just used to it. But I mean, you learn a few things what to do. What I do like about Zoom that you can use, you're in your gaff, so you've got you can do costume changes, your wardrobe's there, you've got all your props. I was using toys because the thing with Zoom or watching anything online, attention span is not in a club. You can hold someone. I've been to comedy clubs, so someone will have me in the palm of their hand for an hour. I've been an hour show hooked on it. You can't have one camera, one person talking for an hour. Your attention span is just not like for that. So every 2 minutes, just got to do something mental or just move the scenery or change it around or, So I've just been doing that. And the good thing with Zoom is a punchline would be like, you could do it up.
Yeah. I found myself doing that all right. Yeah.
That's one of my first stupid Zoom gags. Like, why do they call it Zoom? Hey. Little icebreaker. But so you can't do that in a live club unless you just do it to one person at a time. It's up to their face. Why do they call that Zoom? Because you do this. Like some stuff doesn't work on.
Yeah. You
can show them your toilet. So I've just been doing that. Like the more visual it is, I guess the better. Or you have really good jokes.
Yeah.
Because our jokes last quite long. They're not one-liners a lot of the time. And what I'm doing, I milk a gag as much as you get into a scenario and then you just milk that as much as you can by acting it out something. And you can't really do that on Zoom as well as you could. People don't get hooked on an idea as much. So
yeah,
I'm just doing more gags and other stuff.
But yourself and Danny then went sideways altogether. You went, fuck this. And how did that come about, the garden gigs?
Luckily, there's an ambulance in case you're wondering. He got that today because he did so well in his class this week. He's back. First week back. So we were lucky. We got the Ringsend and Irishtown Community Centre, Rickakik, as I call it. They had a fundraiser for the Pieta House.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the charity gig we did. And you came to one of them. You came to the second one we did. Remember? Okay. He's like, okay. And they had music.
Really impacted him there.
Okay. Not interesting.
Carry on.
Are you talking about toy ambulances? No. Okay. Yeah. And then it was music, right? They had like a band. In the community centre, there's a School of Rock. This guy Dylan, man, he is like an insane musician, so good. He has a band, Murphy's Law. We played at one of our garden gigs, right? We did Emma Doran, me, Danny hosted, Totally Wide, and then 4-piece rock band. It was sick, man. And so we like I was saying to you off recording, we're just gonna start seeing if we can. We've done it a few times, but then hopefully do this out of the lockdown and you just sell a whole package. You get the marquee, you get the comedians. You get live music, you get food, because Danny's got a portable pizza oven. We're making pizzas. You can do your toppings yourself, put it in there. Oh, mate, brilliant. So we have barbecue. So you have it all in one. You've got the food,
Have you started a festival accidentally?
Yeah. So after we've doing this, the community centre was like, we've got the space out the back because they've got like a green, it looks like they used to do lawn bowls on it. It's just that sort of fake, that really flat green AstroTurf. So that's where the first gig we did was. It was all spaced out. And there was music, there was poetry, there was a couple of singers, and then Danny went up into the spot, and I went up into the spot. And funnily enough, it went well. I guess because we were so eager to do a gig, we just gave it everything. And they were like, let's do it again. So that was where we did it in the flats. That shares a wall with the community centre. And we did it there. And that's where we filmed a live special. We filmed a special of our set. It's mostly us slagging the crowd and their reactions and them slagging us. And it's brilliant. So we did that. But then there was the place that was on the news that did bingo in Irishtown around the corner. Their flats. So they're already set up. They're already hanging over the balcony doing bingo, doing quizzes. So we just rock up there. They're already paying attention. They know what's going on. Because the hardest part is people have to know that there's comedy and want it.
Yeah.
If neither of them, if you just show up going, hang on, to do jokes, it was like, who's this, And even if you know what's going on but you don't want it, you're like, comedy when you don't want comedy is just like the most cringy thing.
Oh.
So luckily, obviously the only places we go is like, do you want to do comedy? So if you think of anyone you know that has like either a massive backyard or they work outdoors or there's a car park so a lot of it's been for frontline workers. We're doing it for super value. After they finished their work, we went out and there was like a chair per car space and we did it to the workers there. And like they all come out with their so it's just been asking questions. So you ask 10 people if they want a gig and like 2 or 3 of them might say yes. And then we've got the PA in that. So we just go and do it. And like, it's worked every time because people are just starved for attention. And because Danny and me have been doing it for a while, and like yourself, just loads of energy in that, and a lot of crowd work to break it up. It's just like doing we've done festivals on a Sunday where people just sort of might be sober or just like, sort of vibe, and it's just great, man. It's just everyone's spread out, but then because there's no ceiling to keep the laughs in, because comedians always say, I want a low ceiling, I want laughs to go ha ha ha, and just linger around. And it's true, man, because you do gigs out and you go, oh man, I got him. Gone. Next gag has got to be straight away. There's no, because what I like to do, what we like is like pace around. You throw one out, go to laugh, pace around, have a drink. There's none of that pacing around. Next one.
Right.
So
Good
training. Good training.
Yeah, because when you get back to the clubs now, you'll be like a fucking machine gun.
Well, hopefully. Or else I'll be like, can't do it. There's no trees. It's not raining. I'm not used to this. Where's the wind? Where's the...
Can we leave a door open, please? I need some nature.
I know, yeah. I need some kids running around with super soakers or something.
Man, that's class.
But it's good. Like any gig, it's just like anything we can do, and if people want it, especially because this is the other thing. Because if it's for charity, so it either goes back to the community, goes to a community centre. We're doing it for workers, done it to nurses, doing it to people in the rehabilitation, so in the coal mine drugs rehabilitation. So they're already in there, so they don't know where to go. So we've done 2. We're going back. We did the male one, and we did the female one, and they're so up for it, man. Like best crowds I've ever had with the dudes that would in there on they've been there for like 3 months, so they've been there during the whole lockdown. So they've been they don't need masks because they've been living together for 3 months or something. They're still we still spaced them out, but they eat together and everything, man. They live together.
Right.
So, and they were like, woo, yeah. Like the men's one and the women's one, like straight away, they're like, yeah. And you're making fun of them. They're like, yeah. And we're like, man, you're so much crack. How fun were you when you were on drugs? Because they're sober. And we're going, man, no wonder you guys like to party. And then as soon as the comedy was finished, we like put on some, mouse music and like talking to them. And they're like, yeah, can we have Maniac 2000? We're like, all right. So we put on Maniac 2000 and they were straight up, boosh. And they got babies. Like there's I think, was it 21 women in the rehabilitation and 9 babies. So it's amazing because they're in there with their kids and they're sober and doing everything together, and it's brilliant. And they're all dancing around, and the kids are there, and they're like, "Woo, what a family!"
Man,
so
when you started comedy, did you ever think that you would be doing a gig during a pandemic to 21 drug rehab ladies with 9 babies?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and babies. And one woman was wearing like a white jacket and holding a baby, and we were like, that is the bravest person I've ever seen. That baby's waiting to explode with fluids. And she's like, bright white denim jacket. And then, so you talk about that for 10 minutes. They're like, it's great, man. So brilliant. It gives, I mean, we get more out of it than they do as comics, you know, because that's what we thrive on. Just like, you know, the laughs. And you do get on Zoom gigs, especially when their mics are on, you can see them laugh and you can hear them laugh. So it's
yeah.
What's great about Zoom is you're going, where are you from? And the people are watching from other countries, other side of the world. Like, that's what's amazing about Zoom. And then you get followers from, like, where they're from, like Arizona. Like, that's mad. Like, you know, so it's good to have both. I mean, hopefully some Zoom gigs keep going in the way that you can see anyone from anywhere.
Yeah, I definitely think the future of live streaming has jumped really quickly. Like, you know, it was probably, you know, it was thereabouts for a lot of people. But I think even I see with the game show that I do, like on Twitter, for some reason, it gets ridiculous amount of numbers of people viewing from bizarre places.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that Periscope, or what do they call it?
Periscope, yeah. And it's just random people just stopping in. Like, and there's a couple of other platforms too. Like, there's one called Get Vocal, and and it's weird. You basically, and through Restream, then you can put it out everywhere else. But people go onto this thing called Get Vocal, and there's like, no matter what you're into. We did this one talk one night about ghost stories. I was just my life. It was for the podcast listeners, and they can join in down the side, or there's 3 spaces, and people were switching in and out when they had their ghost story. And this woman jumped on from, where the fuck was she? Oh, she was in Nevada, and she was a medium of sorts, like, and she's talking away, and she showed us these videos of things that weren't ghosts at all. But we were just coming to an end, and she was mental, right? Brilliant. It was just coming to an end, and this guy comes in, and this is a visual one, right? So this guy just switches up. I'm saying goodbye to everybody. Thank you very much. Follow the usual podcast. You know, it's normal chats and all the rest of it. Maybe I'll be hopefully back to you next Sunday. And this guy just pops up. Everybody was like, was disappearing. And just as I'm about to hit end, this guy just pops up on the screen like this. Hey, what are we talking about? It was just the creepiest fucker.
What's going on here? What's this ghosts?
Literally, it was, and the guy was like mid-40s, and he just jumped straight into it. This English guy, he was like, yeah, I live in my mother's house, so, you know, I saw ghost stories, thought it'd be a good idea. And we're like, all right, dude, we're heading away there now, but thanks very much for, all right. So, where you from? It was like, no, what the so,
everyone's money, man. People just need, I mean, we are social beings. We just do need, even if people go, I don't need anyone, you know, that's probably someone who's, you need people, man. Like, and trade for trade. That's what I sort of like about a lot more of this might be happening, where you swap, say you're a painter and another person is carpenter. You go, I'll build this, you paint me this. You know, that's why things used to be, and it still goes on. But I think especially now that when there was no businesses and businesses restarting back up or starting back up for the first time, and like we're doing stuff for free. So we're, you know, you go, if we do a gig for you, can we get pizza or something? You know,
yeah, like you got beer yesterday.
Everyone's trade for trade. You know, that's good as well. I mean, obviously we all love cash, but then what's good is it's sort of it's like technology went nuts, and we're using technology right now and all that. But I think now that we're not allowed to be around each other, it'll all come back to just us telling stories around a campfire. I think that's where everything's just heading towards.
Start bartering for things. I'll give you this stick, my good sir, for your cow.
Yeah, give me this and I'll give you that. And,
yeah.
But we're going to have to, because a lot of the time, no one has that much money if they're starting a new business. So you got to be like, oh, you got to do a deal. I'll swap you this for a swap you that. You know? So like, we're in talks to get the big marquee. We're like, we'll do a gig for your marquee people if you give us a 10. You know,
that's a great way of doing it. Yeah.
Pizza, doing all that, and we get to rent it for a month or whatever it is. So that's how we're doing it, because we've been all the garden gig stuff. It's just been people helping us out, and we're helping out another way by either putting on a show or getting in touch with something else or doing something else. Because we're not spending any money and we're not getting any money, so we're like, what else can we do? But everyone's a winner in the end.
Yeah. Well, using comedy as an actual currency.
I know, isn't that good? Free jokes, huh?
Yeah. I got a big bag of jokes here. Look at this delicious bag of jokes right here.
Yeah. Here's a cat's bum. Yeah. Oh, that was yeah. For people not watching, that was my cat was walking past, mooning me. In case you're wondering.
Elvis, you have actually a great bit. I love that you had a bit. I won't, in case you still use. Although you should never get rid of it. It was a bit about your cat's bum. You did it one night. We were in the international. I was like, oh, so good. He
backs it into your. That one.
But it was your description of it is what fucking cracked me up.
Ah, cool, man. Yeah, cat's bums will always be something that people have to deal with.
I don't even have a cat.
I don't do that very often, but I will do that again if it comes up. I'm ranting about the cat's anus because I see it all the time and I should never see it. I don't look to see it. He'll just show it off.
Like the Eye of Sauron.
That's what they do, man. Crazy ass cat.
Literally crazy ass cat.
Yeah. It's funny how, like, your world has really shrunk down. Like, during lockdown, it shrinks down. Like, it's just your flat. All right, can we do about place? What's going on? What shops can we go to in the area? We're not flying anymore, traveling anymore. So everything, like, it's all become like my day to day is, do up the place, clean the house, after sorting Max out, of course. And then there was a dead seagull out the front of our door.
Oh, you told me, last night. Yeah. We did talk about it during our drunken chat.
And it was gone. It's gone, did I tell you that? The council did it.
Yeah. I wonder, did the council do it, or did another fox come along and just go, fucking nuts?
Probably did. Probably a fox. But I've heard, right, because I always wondered this, why can't we kill seagulls? Why aren't we allowed? Like, why are they protected? Because they're not helping anybody, I don't think.
Are they protected?
Well, yeah, man, I think so. I think you're not allowed to kill pigeons or seagulls. Like, why seagulls, man? They're crapping on the car. Like Stephen's Green, even like the short time I've been in Ireland, like 15, whatever years. I remember going to Stephen's Green and it was all ducks and swans.
Yeah.
Now, there's like 3 ducks left hiding, all seagulls, man, and pigeons. Pigeons I don't mind because they're not as aggressive, but the seagulls, man, they're massive. They're everywhere. They sit up there and they crap. See, our washing is out. They'll they crap on our stuff. They crap on the car. And like I didn't want to kill the seagull, but I mean, when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, good. A little bit of me was like, oh, good. I don't want to see it dead with its guts hanging out. But apparently, someone says, I don't know how they found this out. They say seagull meat is just rotten. They just taste horrible. It's gamey. It's not even. But people eat snails. I mean, it doesn't matter how rotten a food is. Humans have made a way to eat it. If there was a way to make a really nice roast seagull. Sorry.
That's telling you.
Stop talking. I think he wants me to play toy cars with him. I'll go.
On the seagull thing, I guess seagulls just eat nasty shit all the time. So,
stop talking, buddy.
You're like, this is what I do for a living, Max.
Yeah. Funny enough. The other good thing about garden gigs is he can come. The whole family can come.
Brilliant.
Just all spread out. So it's cool. So it's the whole family thing. Although he does heckle me more than anyone else. He just yells
of course he does. Yeah.
That's material. And it doesn't matter. I might put a clip up. It doesn't matter how good your gags are. Like when he runs up and grabs the mic and just laughing into the mic. I mean, no one wants to see. Nothing's better than a 3-year-old laughing.
No, I was just going to say, you cannot follow that.
I'm done. Yeah. It's like, and if I try and continue my act, they're like, nah, more Max. Yeah. More of the toddler being a madman, please.
So where can people, do you know what, because you put up a great clip of your special with the fucking drone and everything. What's your, Instagram is probably where you're most often, is it?
Yeah, so it's at Damian Clark on Insta, Facebook and Twitter, at Damian Clark, Clark. Yeah, man. And on TikTok, I got on TikTok where all the kids are at. Is Damian Clark comic, because some other Damian Clark has got with 7 followers, the lucky bastard. But,
yeah, I haven't mastered TikTok yet.
Yeah, man. I spent the month of June, so just gone. I've just put a video every day. Obviously, some of the new stuff of garden gigs, but then most of the gigs from before. And it went nuts, man. It went really good. Up to 20-something thousand followers.
Really?
So I'm like, you're on TikTok.
Daddy, stop talking.
What did he say? Why did he stop talking?
I think so. I think Max has stuck a fork in the end of our dinner Dennis
well,
podcast.
Oh, he's the boss.
He's the boss.
But yeah, so I wanted to see what the TikTok was like. So that's good, man. So Damian Clark comic on that. But then gardengigsisland.com and we do for any online or live gigs. And now that you can go anywhere in Ireland, we're sorted. We've got the kit. We've got the comedians. We're in touch with the comedians. So we've been taking bookings for like a couple of months now. So it's going good, man.
Oh, that's class.
I think July. So we had our gigs. We had 2 gigs yesterday, and then we got tomorrow off, barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think every other weekend in July we have booked. So it's good. We're doing all right. We still have gaps though. We're like, because you can fit more in, especially if they're near the other gig. So it's happy days. Just fill up your diary.
Oh man, that's class to hear. Class.
Yeah, man, loving it.
So, Damo/Damian Clark, this has been an absolute joy. We've done it in 3 parts. Drunk, and then Jervis, and then... That's the end of the podcast. Cheers, Damo.
Thanks, Tom. We'll see you tomorrow at the Barbie.
See you at the Barbie.
And my thanks again to Damo. Like he said, Garden Gigs Ireland. I think it's .com or .ie. Go check it out. Anyway, the boys have a ton of stuff. Go check Damo out. Go have a look at that guy's stand-up and his fucking comic book. He's a ton of good stuff up online in the way of specials that he did for Edinburgh and all the rest of it. We didn't even get into that. But he's a ton of stuff up there. You will not be disappointed. Thank you very much for listening. Hit subscribe if it's your first time. This stuff is in your ear all the time. Go have a look at the comedy page over on YouTube. You'll see a bunch of stuff up there in the way of stand-up. You'll see Buckshot Sideshow. As well as that, you can, if you want to join the Patreon, you'll get stuff early. You'll get exclusive stuff that nobody else gets. And it does help out the show. Like we said, we're building for our big owl computer. So we can do even more things, even more faster. Wouldn't that be fucking lovely? If you're on Apple, don't forget to give us a rating and review. It'll be lovely of you. Without further ado, I'm going to run out the door and I'm going to get something to eat. Till I talk to you again. Good looking things.